So a lot of people think of creativity as chaos, wild, spontaneous, and unpredictable. The myth goes that structure is not good for creativity. But what if structure isn't the bad guy? What if the secret ally that sets creative fuel can be structure? We're going to try and do this video in one go today as a monologue. Today we're diving into what I call the Playful Paradox, and I'm definitely not the first person to do this, but it's all about how constraints, structure, and even rules can actually fuel creative breakthroughs instead of being a limiting factor. Think of it like learning how to dance. Rhythm isn't restriction, it's what lets you move in a way that is cool. When most people imagine a creative genius, they might picture chaos. Messy desks, late nights, unshaven brilliance, impulsive bursts of inspiration. But psychological research, studies on flow to the big five personality data, all tell a different story. Highly creative people aren't just high in openness, they can be high in the trait conscientiousness. This means that they don't just dream, they design. They build rituals, habits, boundaries that make their imagination reliable. Think of a jazz solo. You can't improvise beautifully without knowing the key you're in. Well, that's debatable. Anyway, the wildest ideas need some kind of rhythm to live in is the idea that we're going for. So why do we resist it? Structure sounds like control. Deadlines, spreadsheets, and the death of inspiration. These are things that we're trying to avoid a lot of the times when we go into creative spaces. But from a cognitive psychology perspective, structure actually reduces decision fatigue. The brain thrives on patterns. It saves energy by knowing the rules of the game. When the structure is clear, your mind can play within those boundaries. Think about a painter. The canvas is literally a boundary, yet the boundary is what makes painting possible. Without edges, it's just infinite chaos, which kind of sounds cool, but anyway. Chaos, ironically, may not be good for creativity, and it could damage it faster than any rule could. So, the Playful Paradox. Creativity needs two forces, freedom and constraint. Too much freedom, you drown in possibilities. Too much constraint, you suffocate. But in balance, you create flow. People sometimes call this the Goldilocks zone of creativity. Not too light, not too loose, not too tight and not too loose. It's where skill meets ability and time, and you can just fall into the motions and lose yourself in it. Or writing a song, you pick a key, a tempo, a mood. Those are your constraints. But inside that little box, you have infinite freedom to bend notes, break rhythms, tell a story. The rules don't stop the music from coming alive, they make the music. And there's creativity in how you break the rules too. Now here's where it gets more interesting, and that's the gamification part of it. Games are the ultimate structured play. They give you rules, feedback loops, and levels. They create a sense of progress that releases dopamine, which is the same neurotransmitter linked to motivation and creativity. So when you turn creative work into a game, it stops being a chore. So you can have a game with rules, with boundaries. Suddenly writing a song or finishing the sketch feels like leveling up. You're still being challenged, but the challenge feels playful, not painful. It's not just theory. Research on self-determination theory shows that when tasks feel autonomous, competence-driven, and connected to a goal, your creativity skyrockets. Gamification hits all three. So, how might you apply this paradox in your own life? Create micro rules. So give yourself constraints like write a chorus in 15 minutes or use 3 colors. 2, track progress like a game. Reward the small wins, add levels to your creative goals. 3, design your sandbox, and this can be whatever you want. Structure your environment so it's easy to start, have your tools ready, distractions off, rituals on. The goal isn't perfection, it's play. You don't have to control everything, you just have to give your creativity a playground with a fence around it.
So, maybe creativity isn't chaos after all. Maybe it's disciplined play. The next time you feel stuck, don't ask for more freedom, ask for better rules. Because creativity isn't the absence of structure, it's the art of dancing within it. Ciao. Only a few mistakes.